So that whole relationship, everything for me, that my whole business career, my personal career has revolved around two things: building deep relationships
Mm,
with my members, my students, my clients. I try to turn my clients into my best friends.
yeah.
And then it's taking the two extra steps with everything else, whether it was in the restaurant business and my glow golf business and my real
Mhm.
estate business at my hotel. We're
Wow.
one of the few boutique hotels in New Orleans that has somebody at the front desk all day,
Mm.
all day.
All day.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I am your host, Q Edmonds. I am super excited about this episode. We're getting to know this gentleman. Y'all know, well, you may not know, I love basketball. And so he's connected to one of the greatest stories like I've ever heard. And I don't know if he's going to talk about it or not. I'll let him choose because what side of the history he's on, I don't know how he feel about broadcasting it, but for me, it's exciting. It's exciting to get to know him. This gentleman has done 43 startups, 37 exits, 31 years of experience. I mean, this gentleman has done a lot. And I'm excited for us to get to know him, to like peek into his brain and his mind and his mindset around things. And so I want to introduce you all to Mr. Bill Faeth. Mr. Bill, how you doing today, sir?
I'm amazing. Thanks for having me, Q. And you just
Absolutely.
had to bring up that Reggie Miller scored
Sorry.
53 on me and a half, right?
My bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Bill. Listen, listen. I listen. It's a great story. I've heard so much about it, and just to talk to somebody who's been involved in that, listen, is that's gold to me. So I'll just see you as a hero. So forget what everybody else. How everybody else see it. I see you as a hero because man, you played the game, and I appreciate the story, man. So Mr. Bill, listen, I want us to dive in. I want you to tell the people what your main focus today is in real estate. I would love for you to give us a little bit of an origin story of how you got into real estate, how you got to where you are now. And then if you don't mind, tell them what part of the world you're in, what markets you're operating in. So, Mr. Bill, sir, you have the floor.
Yeah, thanks, Q. I guess I'll just start kind of with my origin story. I'll go back to that story in high school. I played high school basketball. My whole family played basketball. It was my sophomore year playing in the Christmas basketball tournament. We're playing a high school called Glendora out of LA. I grew up in Bakersfield.
Mm,
And my coach Ron Loria started me. I was the sixth man. I was the
mm,
only 6'6" guy in the history of my basketball team that couldn't dunk. I was a 3-point specialist, kind of like
yeah,
Reggie Miller was.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Reggie came in and scored 53 on me. There was about 2.5 minutes left to go in the first half, and I fouled out. And I walked over to the bench. I told Coach Laura, I said, I think I'm done. He's like, yeah, you fouled out. You're done. I said, no, I'm quitting basketball. I'm just focusing on golf after this tournament. He's like, I think that's a good idea. So the funny part is I heard a story years later that Reggie went home. Ended up scoring like 72 points, scored another 24, 25 in the second half, and told his family that how great of a game he had. And his older sister, Cheryl, said, oh, well, that's nice. I scored 100 tonight. Well, that was me that he scored 53 of those points on that evening. So I have two cool stories, that and I've slept with Tiger Woods over 100 times. That's kind of my two stories when I do a speaking engagement that I lead in with. Now, I wasn't with the prostitutes and that type of stuff, just FYI. Him and I were kids. We traveled together. We played junior golf together.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
All that type of stuff. And we used to share rooms when his dad Earl would drive or my mom would drive us to golf tournaments. But an experience with him is really what set the tone for the rest of my life. It was, I'll never forget, it was June 18th, 1989. I'm 16 years old. We're in Long Beach. And this is a long story. I'm going to make it into 2 minutes. I just played in my first really big Southern California junior golf event. Phil Mickelson was there. Chris Riley, a Ryder Cupper, was there. Tiger Woods was there. Brian Smock, a lot of guys I played college golf with. I went to UCLA on a full ride. And I shot 71s, my first time to shoot under par in a big tournament. I walk off the green. I sign my card. My mom sees that red 7-1 goes up. She's crying. I'm in first place in the tournament. There's only 2 groups left to go. The next group behind me, there was this little scrawny, skinny kid with a big bucket hat on. He walks up to the 18th green and he collapses on the green. I'll never forget Bob Livingston, the director. Then he became the golf coach at Long Beach State, ran over there with some wet towels, gave him some water, got him up. He gets, probably 5-10 minutes getting him revived, right? He has about an 8-foot putt. He drains it. And it was the first time that I saw the fist pump. And that was Eldrick Woods. It was Tiger. He walks up, and we were friends, but I'd never seen the fist pump. We never played together. We just traveled, practiced together, that type of stuff. And he walks over to the scoring tent, and he says, "Billy, how'd you play?" I said, "I'm leading 71. He's all, "How'd you play?" "Well, okay." That's all he said. And then, boom, you see 3, 2, 3, red, 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 red. He shot 64 and won the tournament by, literally 7 shots over me. But here's the story, Quentin. This is what I learned. We went inside. My mom sits in the coffee shop. She was a 2-pack-a-day Marlboro menthol smoker, what I call the menthol mountain. You could smell it. It was disgusting. Earl and Tiger come and sit down. Earl was a smoker. He just adds on to the menthol mountain. They're in there for 15, 20 minutes. And then they go to the range. And Tiger is literally 14 years old at this time. He hit balls for 4 hours, hit bunker shots for an hour, worked on his putting for an hour or 2 hours. My mom and I had already hit McDonald's and been back at the hotel watching cartoons for, 3 hours. Knock on the door. Tiger says, "Hey, you want to come over and watch TV?" "Yeah, go over and watch TV." It's like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. No more than 15 minutes, and Earl, his dad, starts to grill him on, what were you thinking when you made that bogey? What was your visualization? What was your thought process? What was your mental preparation? So, but here's the thing that people don't understand about guys like Kobe, about Michael Jordan, about Tiger, about Venus Williams, or all these athletes, Usain Bolt. They have athleticism, but they work harder and they take those 2 extra steps that we don't do. Phil Mickelson, Chris Riley, the Ryder Cuppers that were there in that tournament, they don't go hit balls afterwards. They didn't practice. They were good enough and they would just play, and that's it. So I learned that 2 extra steps. That's actually my next best-selling book that's coming out in June, is to do those small things. So that's what I do when I'm looking to invest into real estate. So I know that's a long story, but I want everybody to know that my success that I've had, I'm not smarter than you. I didn't have a silver spoon in my mouth. My mother was a teacher, probably never made more than $35,000. I didn't have a father growing up. My parents were divorced. I didn't have it bad, but I was just a regular kid living in a $85,000 home in Bakersfield, California, whose mother was a teacher.
Yeah.
But I learned that day from Tiger and from Earl what the 2 extra steps were. I'm pretty heavily leveraged into hotels and Airbnbs and that type of stuff in my real estate portfolio. I am a believer that Airbnb still to this day, even though my good friends Ryan Pineda, Pace Morby, Grant Cardone all say Airbnb is dead, it's not. They're just, the people that are doing it just aren't doing it the right way. Even Pace said he had 11 Airbnbs in Atlanta, and he didn't do them right. And that's why they failed. So that's why I wrote the book Super Properties, right?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Yeah.
Even a 1-bedroom condo can become a super property. It doesn't have to be a mega 6, 8, 10, or $10 million business, but that's what's thriving. That's taking the 2 extra steps. Every time somebody books with me, like if somebody books with me, if I get a notification on my phone, the second I'm done with this podcast, hey Q, thanks for booking Soaring Eagle Lodge in Montana. My name's Bill Faeth. I just want to introduce myself. I'm going to be your host. I'm the owner. Me and my wife are here for you. Here's 2 or 3 value propositions for this property. 20, 30-second video, and I send it to everybody else. And you know what it does? It blows them away. And for those of you that are into short-term rentals, I want you to understand this is the way that I think. I think about sales, marketing, customer retention, about everything. So if I send that to Q and Q's blown away because nobody's ever done that before, that's the 2 extra steps. It's easy stuff that only takes 30 seconds. Q stops scrolling. Because when Q books with me, all it is a reservation. Q can get out of that reservation within the cancellation policy. So most of us are still looking for better opportunities. We're just reserving what we like. And if we see something better, we'll cancel and we'll move over to the other thing. Now, if Q stays on and he continues to book, I have about 7 or 8 other messages that go out before check-in. Where to get the best sushi, where to rent your skis, where to see the best sunsets, whatever it is, best hikes, all that stuff. I'm building rapport and a relationship with Q. I'm setting the tone. I'm priming Q because the second he checks out, I'm hitting him with a funnel to bring him back or introduce him to my other properties. The second he checks in, I tell a story. I had a property down on the beach, and literally a guest checked in like on 4th of July, the most expensive week. It's like $45,000 for the week in the Outer Banks.
Yeah.
I see the Ring camera. They arrive. I get the Schleg lock notification. No less than 3 minutes later, I get a message on Airbnb with a photo. It's a female that booked. I think her name was Megan, and it's a picture of tidy whities hanging on the back door of the Mastermind.
Oh.
I fully believe that if I hadn't built rapport and relationship through the video, through the messaging, through the personalization before, that I could have ended up with a 3-star review, something that would drastically impact my business.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting a 5-star review. We were able to recover. She was cool. She's like, I understand things happen, blah, blah, blah. So that whole relationship, everything for me, my whole business career, my personal career has revolved around 2 things: building deep relationships with my members, my students, my clients. I try to turn my clients into my best friends.
Yeah.
And then it's taking the 2 extra steps with everything else, whether it was in the restaurant business and my Glow Golf business and my real estate business at my hotel.
Wow.
We're one of the few boutique hotels in New Orleans that has somebody at the front desk all day. All day.
All day.
We got all the technology like other boutique hotels. They can go straight, check in, but Schleg locks, blah, blah, blah. But we want somebody, it's Southern hospitality. We're in New Orleans. We want somebody to greet them when they walk in. When we do our marketing, we use Morgan Freeman voiceovers for our reels and for stuff like that to get into that theme. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we are all in. We're taking that 2 extra steps with everything that we do, but it's these small things that any human, even average human being, can do to win.
Mr. Bill, sir, thank you. I love stories. The late Kobe Bryant said before he passed away, one of his final interviews with Lewis Howes on the School of Greatness podcast, Lewis asked him, "What have you yet to do that you want to do?" And Kobe said, "Tell the perfect story." He said, "Nothing in this world moves without story." And so, man, I love you for the story that you just told. I mean, I think the way you put it into the lens and the frame was beautiful for us. It gave us a lot of nuggets. And I often say destiny has no wasted moments. And Mr. Bill, you have had some moments throughout your life. You've had some incredible moments where destiny has really like shined on you. But what I want to take you back to is,
Can I
I think,
interject with that, Q?
yeah, absolutely. Yes, sir.
I am seeking those moments out.
Hmm.
My grandfather, I didn't
Yes.
have a father growing up, and my grandfather was hurt when I quit playing basketball. He
Mm-hmm.
was a basketball coach at South Dakota
Mm-hmm.
State. He played professional basketball. My mother played basketball. We're an athletic family. And he said, "I'm disappointed that you're quitting playing basketball, but."
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
You know what? I see how good you are in golf, and you need to seek out to become the best, and you need to surround yourself with the best people.
Yeah.
So that's like when I was playing professional golf, I sought out the guys that were kicking my ass every day
Yeah.
so I could learn from them. I
Mm-hmm.
seek out business owners, entrepreneurs, I mean, I reach out to guys like Grant Cardone when he has no business interacting with me and have conversations with him. And I do things, I put myself in places to where I can gain access,
Yeah.
right? I'll just give you a really quick example. I built the second fastest growing ground transportation company in the history of the industry from 2006 to 2010. And at the time in downtown Nashville, there was a restaurant called Houston's, and there's
Mm.
still some around the country, right?
Yeah.
And it was on West End Boulevard, and that's where all the heavy hitters in the music industry, the healthcare industry were. And you would walk in the front door and you would walk about 20 feet straight to the hostess stand. But there was like an 8-foot opening to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody arrives between 11:30 to noon to get early tables. Every fucking day, Quentin, I swear to God, for probably 6 months, 9 months, I'm there at 10:45 waiting for them to unlock the door at 11 in my three-piece suit so I can get the first chair because everybody's packed standing around there till 1:30 in the afternoon, and I'm buying people drinks, Cokes, waters, vodkas, whatever, and I'm
Yeah.
meeting the most high-powered people that I would never have access to. I got Healthcare Centers of America as a client. I got Lowe's Hotels as a client. I can run through probably $3 million worth of business that I acquired by sitting at that chair and seeking out the opportunity. Most of us as human beings don't seek out the opportunities. When people call me an opportunist, I say, thank you so much.
Yeah.
They're thinking that is such a negative term. The fuck it is. We have to
Yeah.
we have to find our opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, you're the perfect example. You're not wasting one moment of destiny. Like when destiny provides you with an opportunity, a moment, you are seized at every moment. And I love it, man. I absolutely love it. Let me ask you this. What is the next real goal for you? What are you looking to solve or scale next?
Retirement.
Whew, okay. Hmm.
So I think a lot of people don't have a definition of what their retirement looks for. They just think Al Bundy or Homer Simpson sitting on the couch with their hand down their pants, watching
Yeah.
soap operas or whatever. So I was fortunate enough, once again, we talk about, seeking mentors out, seeking opportunity out. I sought out and met a guy named John Bairden in 2015, and he fundamentally changed my life. I've
Mm,
20x my net worth since I met him. I've
mm,
15x my income since I'd met him. And I work probably 50 to 75% less today.
mhm.
I mean, right now it's wintertime, buddy. Dude, I
Yeah.
just got back from Montana from 14 straight days of snowboarding. My wife gets home tonight. We're got soccer tournaments for my girl this weekend, and Saturday night
Yeah.
we're heading to Tahoe for 5 days to snowboard. I'm going to snowboard 75 days this winter, right?
Yeah.
In Colorado, Montana, Utah, all these places because of building out a life plan.
Mm,
John Bairden taught me how to build out a life plan, define my retirement, define what I want financially. And I'm not talking about financial freedom and travel the world. I'm talking about very specific things that you want to have happen in your life, all the way down to today. Because if we don't have that plan, we can't distill that down to make sound decisions on a daily basis, right?
no. No.
So that fundamentally changed my life. And when I say retirement, my retirement is different. Mine and my wife's retirement will happen when my 16-year-old, who's a junior in high school, goes to college,
Mm,
right? That just means we're freed up to travel more. I will do the exact same things that I'm doing right now. I'll just do more of it. I'll be able to snowboard, travel more, go skiing in Japan, whatever. But the big thing for us is to optimize mine and my wife's relationship and our life together. So I'll give an example. Everything we do, people just see the social media part and they say, "Oh my God, Bill, you don't even work anymore. You're in all these places just snowboarding." What they don't understand is I'm doing it with members and masterminds. Like I've got a property management client that lives in Sacramento, and Lake Tahoe is his number one market. So we fly in Saturday, we're going to ski Sunday, Monday night, and Tuesday night. I'm doing free meetups and boot camps with him and his leads and real estate agents and working for him while we're there for two reasons. One, to benefit him because he's a member of one of my programs. And two, because I'm the draw for all these people to come and see. Don't mean that egotistically. And three, then I get to write it off because I'm doing business. So I get a free workcation.
Yeah.
That's optimization of life that I didn't understand until I met John Baird, and he taught me how to do that.
Mm. Mm. It's suffice to say, because I end when we wind down the podcast, I always end on relationships. So it's suffice to say that relationships have served you well. So let's put a bow on this and talk to the people about how important it is to build really good relationships. You've said it before throughout the podcast, but let's put a cherry on top. How important is it to build these good relationships?
Yeah, there's nothing more important, right? So my goal has always been in business is to take my top 10%, 10 to 20% of my clients and turn them into friends. And if I
Mm.
can turn like my top 5 or 10 clients into like my BFFs, right? They trust me. They know I'm treating them exactly how I treat myself. All of these different types of things. It's critical, and that happens through authenticity and effort. Effort's the big thing. Most of us don't make enough effort, right? Most of us, just as older adult human beings, don't have enough friends. I could tell you that I have probably 10 to 15 really close friends. I have my core 4 or 5 in my inner circle, but man, we travel with friends. Our best friends, mine and my wife, are from California, Bakersfield, California. We left there 23 years ago. We hadn't seen them for 13 years, and they came to Montana to ski with us last winter for like 4 days, and it was like nothing had ever changed.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is super important about the effort. We DM each other, we text each other, we send pictures, we stay in communication, leverage technology, but we're still super close.
Mm.
Relationships is what opens doors.
Mm.
It's the key. I mean, if you don't have a relationship with God, is he going to let you in? If you don't have a relationship with the decision maker at a business that you're trying to acquire their business, are you going to really be able to win their business? You're leaving that up to a gatekeeper at that point, right? So I have tremendous relationships with real estate agents. I have tremendous relationships with wholesalers all over the country. I build relationships. When I go into a new market, the first thing I do is I go straight to planning, zoning, the health department. I start building relationships with people in those markets, because if they don't know me, I'm just anybody else submitting an application for a permit, right? And that's what I've done, and most importantly, Quentin, I've taught that to my young girls.
Yeah.
Especially my oldest daughter, man, she's in college. You know who her best friends are in college? Her professors.
Oh, ooh.
Just had dinner with her last night. They see it every day. I just walked into the number one restaurant in Nashville, which is like a top 3 food city, and literally the owner sits down with us and basically eats with us
Mhm.
because I made the relationship with him on the very first night that I went in. I did the 2 extra steps. My wife took me there for my 50th birthday 2.5 years ago. And I go up and I see the nice bald-headed, $3,000 suit guys from New York, introduce myself, tell them how amazing everything is. We go back 2 nights later, and I'm a big wine guy. Just outside my studio here, I've got about 900 bottles in my wine cellar. I
Mm.
take him a $900 bottle of wine, one of my best wines in my cellar, because I know he's a wine guy, because I found him on Instagram, found him on LinkedIn, found him on Facebook, researched him, Googled him. He was a celebrity chef from New York. Long story short, now we're friends. I had the largest Airbnb conference in the world, 4,000 people last year in Nashville, and I brought him in to speak.
Mm.
And it's about leading with value, right? So I led with value with him, but you know what I did for him? He was the official restaurant for the conference.
Mm.
And he was my very first. I interviewed him. I worked in a spot. He wasn't a speaker right off the bat, beginning of the conference, because I wanted him on the first day, 20-minute interview.
Yeah.
Told everybody this is the best cheesecake in the world. If you go to Luogo and you don't like the cheesecake, DM me and I'll pay for what you send me the receipt. I'll pay for your dinner and give you an extra $100.
Yeah.
He was sold out for 5 straight days, did over $400,000 in revenue from my conference. I didn't want nothing in return, leading with value,
Mm.
right? So that's the big thing about the relationship. If you want to get a relationship with somebody that's above you in business, a mentor, you've got to lead with value. My good friend Pace Morby tells a story. He was in Dean Graziosi's masterminds for years. Two things here. Dean Graziosi says, "Hey, I'm putting a new program together with Tony," and immediately Pace says, "I'm in."
Mm.
And Dean's like, "Well, you don't even know what it is or how much is. I don't care. I know how much value." And it was a $250,000 program, and Pace was in. Pace was the student. Dean was the teacher. It took Pace, I think it was 13 or 15 years to figure out something of enough value to Dean that he could present to him to crack that into moving from
Yeah.
student to friend and confidant and peer. And he did it. And he immediately flew to New York because Dean was in New York, like figured what it was, jumped on a plane, went there to meet Dean. And then what do you know? He's working with Dean and Tony and Russell and all those things because he led with value. I think too many people, Q, reach out to people, start relationships with intentions and not leading with value. They're takers as opposed to givers. And I'm a big believer that we have to give more than we expect to receive. And when we do that, it comes back tenfold.
Man, you said so many. I'm glad you mentioned God because you just said so many kind of just spiritual laws that when you put them out there, they work. You reap what you sow. You know, healing happens in community. We find that in James 5:16. And I think everything you said proves just that point of how important relationships is, how important for you to add value, and then you'll get value in return. And so,
I just
Mr.
always
Bill,
want to remind
yeah.
people that Jesus was a peasant, right? And he was not. And you look at the people that I mean, you look at what he did. And I think a lot of us have imposter syndrome, right? So just think about Jesus and think about what he did for God and what he did for us and the people that follow him,
Mm.
the relationships that he built, put it into modern times today, right? And I'm a peasant, and, I have access to these people,
Mm.
like Pace Morby. I'll give you an example. Pace Morby, in my opinion, is the best investor, most likely in all of real estate.
Mm.
Right? I mean, a guy that uses none of his own money, no banks, any of that type of stuff. And if you think he's not real, he's the real deal. Believe me, when he's educating Grant Cardone, he knows
Right.
what he's doing. But here's
Yeah.
the deal, right? I mean, he's huge in his faith. Pace Morby was up here. Bill Faeth was down here 2.5 years ago.
Mm.
The only way that I could get to Pace was through a warm introduction and then pay him to come and speak at my conference.
Mm.
Right? But then I got to hang with him. I got to meet him. We share a love of Montana. We both have places in Whitefish, Montana, in that area. We both love Jesus. We both, love our families. And we found out that we had a lot of things in common. And now we're boys,
Yeah.
right? And
Mm.
that's kind of how it works because I led
Sure.
with value.
Mm.
And sometimes we have to pay for that access, Q. You know that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, no, you're absolutely right. Huh, so I think it's fair to say one of the most important relationships you and I have is with Jesus. And I'll put a bow on the head. Jesus led with value. He gave his life first. He showed the value. So if that's a perfect example for us to follow, it's to give the value first. And so, Mr. Bill, thank you, man. If someone wanted to reach out to you, connect with you, learn more about what you're doing, how can they get in contact with you, sir?
BillFaeth.com, Faeth, BillFaeth.com. Build Short Terminal Wealth is my educational business. I've got 35,000 students in my free Facebook group. It's Build STR Wealth by Bill Faeth. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, I'm everywhere. Bill Faeth 73 on Instagram. Bill Faeth pretty much everywhere else. And if you have questions, just DM me on Instagram. I mean, I'm one of the few guys that will actually answer you personally. No bots, no ManyChat, no team. I take pride in being accessible and available, and I'll even pick up the phone and have a conversation with you. I'm just here to help and, share my wisdom and experiences, both positive and negative, through practicing Gestalt. So it'll benefit you.
Absolutely. You mind holding up your book one more time so people can get a look at it?
Yeah, Super Property is available everywhere you buy books. It's, how to generate $250,000 in net income off one upfront investment. Amazon, Barnes and Noble. My next book, Two Extra Steps, is out in pre-release right now. Also on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Simon Schuster. It's everywhere. It doesn't come out till June 9th, but you can be the first one to get an advanced copy. We'll probably release those in May.
Absolutely. Well, Mr. Bill, let me just sincerely say, one, thank you for your time. You already know you can put a premium on your time. You know people will pay you high value for your time. So thank you for your time being here today. Definitely thank you for your story, for the impact of your story. Jesus taught in parables. I think storytelling is an incredible way to get a message across. And thank you for your perspective. Thank you for your mindset and bringing that mindset to this platform. I truly appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having me. It's been fun.
Absolutely. Now, listen, go check out Mr. Bill Faeth, get the books, pre-order the books, get in contact with him, but definitely make sure you're subscribed here. I keep telling you over and over, we're going to keep bringing up amazing people, just like Mr. Bill. I keep telling you, it keeps happening. I keep telling you, call me a liar when we don't do it. So, Mr. Bill, I thank you so much. Listen, everyone else, y'all have a great day.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.